All right, the president might be setting his sights once again on AT&T and CNN. Charlie Gasparino, the latest on that. Hey, buddy.
Hey, you know, this is like there are various flashpoints in the relationship between CNN, which AT&T owns CNN.
Right.
And there's various flashpoints between the Trump administration, sort of dysfunctional relationship between the two parties. This is maybe one of them, and I'm picking this up from it's outside advisors to Trump who say that the president's inside advisors and even himself, they're really annoyed that AT&T apparently turned over, not apparently, there's been some press on this, turned over without giving a heads up all the phone records of Rudy Giuliani, Trump's lawyer who's involved in the Ukraine mess, to the congressional committees that are obviously investigating this and for impeachment. They wanted, and Rudy's been public about this. If they would have given him a heads up, he could have tied it up in court. Instead, they just gave over the phone records. So
AT&T explain why it did that. That it had to, or
it got a subpoena.
Okay.
Now, if they told Rudy, listen, we got a subpoena for your phone records, and we're going to hand them over, theoretically, and I think this is what would have happened, they would have tied it up in court. They would have gone to another court to prevent it from happening. At least that's what people are inside
the phone records wouldn't include who he was calling.
Right. So, but anyway, whatever it is that they got, it's really annoyed people in the Trump administration. And what we do here is, Trump has in the past called for boycotts of AT&T. Again, he's being advised by outside people, call for another boycott. They're most vulnerable on their direct TV subsidiary, the satellite cables, the satellite TV provider of content, which is people are cutting the cord on this thing or cutting the satellite cord left and right. It's not doing very well. And there
were rumors that was considering selling it.
They were thinking
never went anywhere, right?
Well, they were thinking of doing it. I know they've been approached by outside parties, but what I do know now is that that is where people are saying, if you want to get at AT&T, if you want to screw with them from a business standpoint, go at DirecTV. Call for a boycott as you have in the past. Trump has done this in the past, and right now DirecTV is pretty vulnerable. As I said, losing subscribers. It's a trouble problem.
Should a president do that?
Now, that's a whole other story. You're asking my opinion. I don't think so, but,
But there are no laws against it.
There's no laws against it. Listen, if he said, listen, we think this is a horrible company. We think they don't do the right thing. We think CNN is pathetically bad. I think all my supporters should boycott it. I don't think there's a law against it. I mean, it's horrible to do that. I mean, to take it out on the company
where do you think
and
this
the
is going,
shareholders and employees.
Right.
It's really bad. I don't know. It's too early to tell. I do know it may just pass. I mean, some of the stuff with Trump, comes in one ear, out the other. He reacts, and then it dies out. This might just pass because he's got bigger fish to fry. But it's clearly percolating behind the scenes. I know this because I spoke with people yesterday and today about it. It's clearly in the ether of the White House about how do we, do we go after them? Sometimes it just takes one guy, to whisper in Trump's ear, I think he should do a tweet, and he does a tweet, and, then it all picks up. I mean, by the way, that's how he would do it. He would tweet out, I think my supporters should boycott every AT&T product. The fascinating thing is as much as he doesn't like CNN for its political coverage, the guys running AT&T are Republican. I mean, by the way, AT&T is a Dallas-based company. I have a lot of sources in Dallas. Randall Stephenson, John Stankey, those guys are not exactly flaming liberals.
And Stephenson just announced he's staying on a little bit longer.
I mean, that's the whole thing. He'll probably have to step down as part of this whole activist investor thing. Remember, Trump tweeted about the activist investor, too.
Yes. But he also has to respond to Amazon, Jeff Bezos claiming that they were sort of forced out of a military deal that went to Microsoft, a cloud deal. I'm just wondering whether there are dots you can connect here.
Yeah, I just wonder if it matters. I mean, are you going to...
The only reason I mentioned Bezos, he owns personally the Washington Post. So I'm just saying...
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is what he does. I mean, there's no doubt that he plays hardball in ways that... Listen, is it that much different, though, than the Obama IRS going after conservative groups?
Yeah, very different.
It's different, but it's still using the office as a sort of hammer against political opponents, you know, real or perceived. So, I mean, that's what the
does that hit the stock? Or the stock's been under pressure regardless, right?
If he called for a boycott and it had some real teeth, it could hit the AT&T stock, particularly on DirecTV, because that's a troubled property. If they lost, if they you know, lost many more subscribers than they're losing now, if there was an uptick in that, that would be really problematic for the stock. There's no doubt about that.
Thank you, my friend. Always good seeing you.
You too.
Charlie Gasparino.
Walter Cronkite.
Okay.
By the way, did you see who's playing you? P.J. Byrne?
Yes, I did.
In this movie? God. I wish someone would play me.
Well, there is someone playing you.
No, there isn't. I'm not important enough.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm just saying. All right. It's a surprise character that's been in it at the last second.
P.J. Byrne.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much.